Today I want to talk about the best ways to pay for our taxes to get more cashback and miles. Hopefully you have filed your income tax because the deadline was 18 April, yeah? And for those who have already done so, watch on so you know the best way to pay for your income, property and other taxes to earn more cashback or miles on your payments. Remember also to subscribe to the Telegram to get more updates and great deals. This year, there are three main tax payment promos that I feel are worth considering. The first will be promos from CardUp and iPayMy, and you can choose from getting miles or cashback here, depending on which credit card you choose to use. The second is Citi Pay All, and this is only for miles and, as the name suggests, only for Citibank cards. The third is UOB's tax payment promo, and you have to maintain certain balance amounts with your UOB One account, and you can get cash credits for your tax payments. Okay, so I'll go through all three promos, then discuss about my own strategy. Now, before we begin, I think it is also worth talking about taking advantage of IRA's 12-month interest-free gyro payment plan if you haven't already done so. All the tax payment promos work with the gyro payment plan, so you should set up your gyro plan, and IRAS has a few guides, so I'll put those links in my pinned comment. After setting up your payment plan, IRAS will show you a breakdown of how much you will pay each month. The gyro deduction is done on the 6th of each month or the next working day if this falls on a holiday or weekend. If you pay before this date, your balance for that month falls and the deduction for that month is lowered. Make sure you pay well ahead of time because the gyro needs a few business days to be updated. I've written a guide on this, so check out the link in the pinned comment. Now let's first take a look at the first promo, which is from CardUp and iPayMy. Technically, these are two different promos, but they are pretty similar, so let's take a look at what they offer. If you're unfamiliar to these services, I've written a guide for them, and you can find it at, you know where, the pinned comment. Essentially, these services let you use your credit card to pay them, then they transfer your funds to IRAS. You pay them a service fee, then you get your cashback or miles. The key to earning more from such services is to simply use cards with more rewards and use promo codes to decrease the service fee. If you like cashback, there are probably around 5 cards that I know that you can use. Some of these cards like OCBC Frank or DCS Flex give say 6 to even 8% cashback, but that is only if you use them across different categories. If you are using them only on CardUp or iPayMy, you will get closer to 3 to 4% cashback, which isn't too bad for something like paying your tax or even your mortgage payments if you want. Bank of China Family, Maybank Platinum Visa, and StanChart Manhattan also gets around 3% cashback for CardUp or iPayMy transactions. Cashback cards tend to have trickier requirements and minimum spend, so refer to my article for those conditions. So I think the benefit of using a cashback card to pay for your taxes is pretty clear, right? You take the cashback rate that you'll get, minus off the service fee, and whatever is remaining is your overall effective reward, and you have saved on your taxes. One more card to use for cashback is Chocolate Card. It isn't technically cashback, but you can use max miles to offset your flight tickets at 1.8 cents per mile. Since the Chocolate Card earns 2 max miles per dollar, this can be seen as a 3.6% cashback card, unless of course you will never ever buy flight tickets. Anyway, there's an ongoing promo now, and you can even redeem each max mile at 2 cents each, making this effectively a 4% rebate card during the promo period. That's really not too bad at all, and you can also use the Chocolate Card for miles, and it is one of the better cards, giving 2 max miles per dollar. But you have to be aware that it does not support KrisFlyer miles. It does support Air Canada miles, and it also recently added Eva Air miles, and these miles can help you book Singapore Airlines flights for cheaper. There are also other cards you can consider, and paying a service fee to get your miles is like buying miles, which should be done if it is cheap enough. So the key is to reduce your service fee by using the tax promos provided by CardUp and iPayMy. Now, if you're a new user, you should use new user codes first. iPayMy currently lets you get a fee waiver of $30, which is good for around $1,250 of transaction. And CardUp gives a lowered 1.79% transaction fee for any payment. So if you are new to these services, use the codes to pay for things like your insurance, mortgage, or anything else, and then use the existing user promo codes to pay for your tax. For tax payments, both CardUp and iPayMy are offering a reduced fee of 1.75% when you set up tax payments to IRAS with their services. If your card earns 1.4 miles per dollar, your cost per mile is 1.75% divided by 1.4 miles, which is 1.25 cents per mile. In reality, the cost per mile is actually lower because the service fee itself also earns miles. I've done an entire table of different miles per dollar cards versus the service fee paid to calculate the cost per mile, so refer to that article if you want to. Now, 1.23 cents is actually pretty good if you want business class flights. If you book a business class flight to Japan, it will cost 104,000 KrisFlyer miles plus about $100 of tax. So buying each mile at 1.23 cents means you are paying about $1,380 for this flight. Whether this is a good deal or not depends on whether you are willing to pay for nicer flights. It's definitely cheaper than paying for business class with cash outright on the Singapore Airlines website, but not everyone is willing to pay a premium for business class flights. So if this doesn't appeal to you, I think you're better off with the cashback cards. The second promo to look at is the very recently announced Citi Payout promo. This is Citibank's version of CardUp and IPMI for their own credit cards, and the proposition is very similar. You pay Citibank a service fee, use your Citibank card to make payment for things like your income tax, and you gain points and miles. The current service fee is 2.6%, so normally this isn't a very attractive offer because you get at most 1.6 miles per dollar from Citibank cards, which is at best 1.63 cents per mile. And this requires you to have the Citi Ultimate card, which isn't very common because it needs an annual income of $500,000. So I normally wouldn't use Citi Payout aside from times where Citibank has promos and they just launched one. From 18 April to 31st August 2025, we can get 1.8 miles per dollar on tax payments and 1.6 miles per dollar on non-tax payments, and you can earn these rates on any of the bank's miles and points cards. The service fee is still 2.6%, so at 1.8 miles per dollar, you're buying each mile at 1.44 cents, and at 1.6 miles per dollar, it's 1.63 cents each. If you compare this cost to what you get on CardUp and IPMI, this isn't very attractive. It's made worse by the fact that you need to make at least $6,000 of spend on non-tax payments, which earns the lower 1.6 miles per dollar before you can earn the 1.8 miles per dollar on tax payments. So your overall earn rate is going to be lower than 1.8 miles per dollar as a result. If you have a bank account with Citibank, however, this minimum requirement is waived and you can just make your tax payments and get 1.8 miles per dollar. Now, despite the fact that this promo isn't as attractive as CardUp or IPMI, there are still two good things going for it. One, Citi Payout is really fast free and does not require invoices. Some people may just prefer this because there's no need to upload any supporting documents. Number two, the first 3,000 people who make at least $6,000 on non-tax transactions can get $100 of e-capital vouchers. This significantly offsets the cost per mile. For $6,000 payment, the fee is $156, and if you take the value of $100 e-capital vouchers to be around $90, which is more than fair, your fee is now just $66. $6,000 at 1.6 miles per dollar is 9,600 miles, so you have essentially bought these 9,600 miles with $66, which is 0.69 cents per mile, which is an incredible deal. However, of course, as mentioned, this is limited to the first 3,000, and I've gone ahead to set up my payment at midnight after publishing my article. So make sure you subscribe to my Telegram, right, so that you don't miss such time-sensitive deals. I'm really not sure whether they have reached 3,000, and Citibank even says that they wouldn't be able to inform anyone if they have qualified until 12 weeks from the end of 31st August. So yeah, it's a gamble. Outside of the first 3,000, I think this promo is pretty weak. So if you're not confident of getting the e-capital vouchers, I would suggest just going for CardUp or IPMI instead. In fact, after getting my $100 e-capital voucher for paying non-tax payment, I might even just consider continuing with using CardUp or IPMI for cheaper miles and just keep the tax payment portion of this promo. Now, the last promo to look at will be UOB Tax Saver, where the bank advertises as much as 6.5% rebates on tax payments. To qualify, you need to complete 4 requirements. 1. Apply for GIRO and use your UOB One account as the debiting account. 2. Link your mobile number for PayNow with this account. 3. Activate Money Lock and lock at least $1. And 4. Finally, you have to maintain certain balance amounts to get rebates on your tax payments. Now, if you're a UOB Child Development Account (CDA) account holder, you can get 6.5% rebates on tax payments made with your UOB One GIRO. If you don't, you get 6% rebates. There is a cap to the amount of rebates you can get, and it is based on how much balance you have in your UOB One account. For $30,000 monthly average balance, you can get a maximum of $10 rebates, and this is maxed out at $166.67 of tax payment if you don't have a CDA account. Account holders with $75,000 can get up to $25 of rebates, which is achieved with $416.37 of tax payments. Finally, account holders with $150,000 monthly average balance can get up to $50 of rebates, and this is reached with $833.34 of tax payments. For those with CDA accounts, these are the amount of tax payments required to max out the rebate caps. Now, 6.5% or even 6% rebates on your tax payment is a fantastic rebate amount for paying your tax, but the big requirement is that you have to be using UOB1 account, which was recently nerfed. As the various balances required by this promo, UOB1 currently offers just 2.3% per annum interest for $30,000 and $75,000 balances, and 3.3% per annum interest for $150,000 balance. If you have decided to go with UOB1 already, even after the recent drop in rates, then this tax payment promo is a no-brainer. Nothing beats 6% rebate, and this thing does not even require a fee like the other services I mentioned. But if you're not using UOB1 account, does switching over make sense? It depends. I did a little calculation, and if you use this promo optimally, say you maintain a $30,000 balance and you can max out the $10 cash rebate, this extra $10 is like a bonus 0.4% per annum interest on your $30,000 balance. It is the same story for $75,000 balance. If you max out the $25 of rebates, or for $150,000 balance and you max out the $50 of rebates, it is extra 0.4% per annum interest. So you can compare what kind of returns you are getting outside of UOB1 and pit it against the returns you can get from UOB1 plus this promo to see whether it makes sense. 6% rebate on your income tax sounds good on paper, but if you're already getting decent returns on your savings outside of UOB1, this promo might not make that much sense for you in totality. So my verdict on these three would be, if you are good with UOB1's interest rates and can maintain the required balances, it is the best promo right now. Nothing beats 6% rebates. The next would be to use either cut out or iPayMy and make sure you use the new user promo codes first and then use the existing user code to make your tax payment. Now, if you use a cashback card, you can get cashback for paying your income tax, or if you use miles, you are buying miles at a relatively decent cost. Now, you can actually use both promos simultaneously, right? If let's say you have a bigger tax bill that exceeds the maximum tax you should pay using your UOB1 taxpayer promo, right? All you have to do is just pay off using your cut up or iPayMy and then have the balance deducted by your UOB1 gyro. For example, if your tax bill is $400 per month, what you can do is to pay off $233 using cut up or iPayMy, and then your remaining $167 will be paid using your UOB1 gyro, and therefore you have optimized your UOB1 6% up to the maximum cap, and then you can gain miles or cashback on the remaining $233 that you have paid using cut up or iPayMy. Last in place is CD Payor promo, which is actually really weak this time round. And aside from the $100 eCapital voucher promo, which I will try to gun for, in fact, that has nothing to do with tax payments because you need to put it on non-tax payments. I would likely not be using the tax promo by CD Payor this time round. Okay, so in short, prioritize UOB's tax saver promo, provided you are okay with UOB1's current interest rates. And then any remaining, if you still have that much tax to pay, right, should be paid using iPayMy or cut up using their promo codes. And then CD Payor, I think, try harder next time. Now, if you want to earn more from your credit cards, savings account, etc., join my Telegram and also check out this video where I talked about UOB1's latest nerfs. So I'll see you in that video, and also stay tuned for comparison between different savings accounts so you can see whether UOB1 is the account to use going forward. See you in that video.